She stole from a billionaire 3 years ago. Now he's asking her to marry him. Her fingers trembled against the gold band. You could have sent the police. You could have ruined me. I still might, he said. His voice was calm. Too calm. Like he was holding something darker underneath. But this way I get what I want. And what is that? She asked. His gaze finally met hers. You. The words hung in the air, heavy and sharp. For a moment, she wanted to tear the ring off her hand. For another, she wanted to cry. Instead, she just smiled, the kind of smile that hurts. Congratulations, Luca. You finally bought a woman who can't stand you. He didn't flinch. No, Aria. I married the only woman who ever stole from me and got away with it. He stood and walked away, his footsteps echoing against the marble floor, leaving her alone with her thoughts. And that's how it began, not with love, not with fate, but with debt. 3 years earlier, she hadn't known his name. Only his touch, his voice, his watch. The one she sold to buy a new life. Back then, she was Whitney Harris, the daughter of a man who'd traded her future for his comfort. Her mother had just died. The house smelled like loss and old perfume. In the mirror, she looked at her reflection. A bride in silk she didn't choose, married to a man she couldn't love. Ace O'Connor. His smile was handsome and hollow. His kisses tasted like alcohol and betrayal. On the third night after the wedding, she caught him in their bed with another woman. He didn't even stop. You'll learn, he said when she screamed, voice slurred with indifference. This is what men like me do. That was the night she ran. No luggage, no money, just rage and a name she no longer wanted. By morning, she was in Los Angeles, standing in front of a neon-lit bar, rain plastering her hair against her face. She had one friend left in the world, Diane, but Diane's never showed. Who showed up was a man, tall, quiet, and dangerous in the way calm men are. Luca Rivers. She didn't know who he was then. Only that his voice was low and patient when he asked if she was all right. Do I look all right? She said. He smiled faintly. You look like someone who's had enough. Of what? Of pretending. She didn't answer. He bought her a drink anyway. They talked for hours. Or maybe they didn't talk at all. Just shared silence like it meant something. When he brushed his thumb across her hand, she didn't pull away. She wanted to forget who she was. He wanted to forget what he'd lost. So they did together. By morning, she was gone. She left him asleep in tangled sheets and walked out with his wallet, his watch, and his ring. She told herself it wasn't theft. It was survival. She sold the watch first, then dyed her hair black. The woman in the mirror didn't look like Whitney Harris anymore. She looked like Aria Jameson, a ghost of her own making. For 3 years, she taught children how to read, smiled for photographs, paid rent on time, and told herself she was safe. Then, one morning, the principal said a donor was waiting in the office. The fluorescent lights of Lincoln Elementary buzz overhead, casting that sickly yellow glow across rows of tiny desks. Aria Jameson stands at the chalkboard, her hand trembling slightly as she writes out multiplication tables. Black hair pulled back in a neat bun. Brown eyes that have learned to hide too much. 24 and already carrying the weight of someone twice her age. She doesn't see him at first. Doesn't notice the expensive suit cutting through a sea of casual volunteer clothing. Doesn't feel those blue eyes locked on her back like a target. Luca Rivers watches from the doorway, his jaw tight, fingers curled around the doorframe. He spent 3 years looking for her. 3 years wondering if that night meant anything at all, or if he was just another mark. The blonde hair is gone, dyed black now, but he'd know that face anywhere. The face that's haunted him since Los Angeles. Miss Jameson. The principal's voice cuts through her lesson. Could you step out for a moment? Aria's stomach drops. That tone. She knows that tone. It's the same one people use right before your world implodes. She sets the chalk down, wipes her palms on her skirt, and turns. That's when she sees him. 6 feet of controlled fury in a $1,000 suit. Dark hair. Blue eyes that could freeze oceans. Luca Rivers. The man from that night. The night she tries not to think about. The night that funded her entire new life. Her breath catches. The room tilts slightly. Miss Jameson, this is Mr. Rivers. He's one of our donors. He'd like to speak with you about a private matter. Luca's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Just a few minutes of your time. They walk to an empty classroom. Aria's heels click against linoleum. Each step feels like walking toward an execution. The door closes behind them with a soft click. Luca doesn't sit. He stands by the window, light slicing across his profile, highlighting the sharp angle of his jaw, the tension in his shoulders. You changed your hair. Aria's back presses against the door. I don't know what you're. Don't. His voice is soft, dangerous. Don't insult both of us with lies, Whitney. The name hits her like a slap. Whitney Harris. The girl she used to be. The girl she buried 3 years ago. That's not my name anymore. He turns fully now, and she sees it. The rage simmering just beneath that expensive cologne and tailored fabric. No? Then who are you? Aria Jameson? The teacher? The woman who just happened to steal $40,000 worth of jewelry and cash from a hotel room in Los Angeles. Her throat is dry. I needed. You needed. He laughs, but there's no humor in it. Just edges. You had sex with me. Made me feel something I hadn't felt in years. And then you robbed me blind while I was sleeping. The shame burns hot in her chest. She wants to defend herself. Wants to explain that she was desperate, that she was running from a marriage that would have destroyed her. But the words stick. I was going to pay you back. When? He steps closer. She can smell his cologne now, cedar and something darker. In another 3 years? 5? Never. I don't have that kind of money. I know. He pulls out his phone, scrolls through something, then shows her the screen. It's a spreadsheet. Numbers that make her dizzy. With interest, you owe me $63,000. The number punches the air from her lungs. 63,000. She makes 35,000 a year teaching. It would take her. I can't pay that. I know. He puts the phone away, and something shifts in his expression. The anger is still there, but now there's something else. Calculation. But I have an alternative. An alternative? He moves to the teacher's desk, perches on the edge, arms crossed. The light from the window backlights him now, turning him into a silhouette, an ominous figure offering a devil's bargain. My sister died 7 months ago. Cancer. She left behind a 9-year-old son. Marcel. Aria's not sure where this is going, but her heart is pounding against her ribs like it's trying to escape. I'm sorry for your loss, but I don't see what. She left a legal clause. I can't have custody of Marcel unless I'm married. And my ex-brother-in-law is fighting me for that custody. Not because he loves Marcel, but because my sister left stocks in Marcel's name. Stocks that need oversight until he's 21. Stocks worth millions. The pieces start clicking together. Cold dread spreads through her chest. I want you to marry me. He says it like he's proposing a business merger. No warmth. No pretense. Play the role of my wife. Be a mother figure to Marcel. Do this for 1 year and your debt is cleared. Refuse and I press charges. Theft. Fraud. Identity theft for changing your name. You'll do time, Aria. Or Whitney. Whoever you're pretending to be today. Her hands are shaking now. She clasps them together, tries to steady her breathing. This can't be happening. This can't be real. That's blackmail. That's justice. His voice hardens. You stole from me. Now you pay. One way or another. I need time to think. You have 48 hours. He stands, straightens his suit jacket. I'll send you the address. Be there Friday at 6. We'll sign the papers, make it official. Or don't show up, and I'll have the police waiting at your apartment. He walks past her, and she catches his scent again. Expensive, intoxicating, dangerous. He pauses at the door, hand on the handle. For what it's worth. His voice drops, almost vulnerable for a moment. That night meant something to me. I thought maybe it meant something to you too. Guess I was wrong. The door closes. Aria slides down against it, her knees finally giving out. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, indifferent to her panic. She has 48 hours to decide. Prison or marriage to a man who hates her. Some choice. The apartment is small. 1 bedroom in a neighborhood that's trying to be trendy but hasn't quite made it yet. Aria sits on her second-hand couch, phone in hand, staring at the address Luca sent. Penthouse. Of course he lives in a penthouse. Her roommate, Amanda, crashes through the door with Chinese takeout and that infectious energy that makes her impossible to ignore. Bright red hair, freckles, and a smile that could sell ice to penguins. Girl, you look like someone died. What happened? Aria doesn't know where to start. How do you explain that your past just walked back into your life wearing a custom suit and carrying a revenge fantasy? I did something bad. 3 years ago, and now it's catching up to me. Amanda sets down the food, suddenly serious. How bad? I stole from someone. A lot. And now he found me. Shit. Amanda sits, pulls her knees up to her chest. Did you go to the cops? Basically the cops. He's rich, Amanda. Like obscenely rich. And he wants me to marry him. Amanda's eyes go wide. I'm sorry, what? It's complicated. His nephew. Custody. He needs a wife on paper. And he figures I owe him, so he's blackmailing you into marriage? Technically, yes. Amanda is quiet for a long moment. Then she grabs the takeout containers, thrusts one at Aria. Okay, we're eating and you're telling me everything. And I mean everything. So Aria does. She tells Amanda about Whitney Harris, the girl whose mother died and left her nothing because her stepfather drained the accounts. The girl who was married off to Ace O'Connor, a millionaire with a cruel streak and a collection of mistresses. The girl who ran away one night and ended up in a Los Angeles bar, drowning her sorrows. I was supposed to meet my friend's cousin, get a loan, start over, but she never showed. And I was sitting there, drinking too much, and this guy, she pauses, remembering. This guy sat next to me, dark hair, blue eyes, sad smile. We talked for hours, about nothing, about everything. It felt real. Luca. Yeah, we went back to his hotel. And it was. She trails off, her cheeks flushing. It was the first time I felt wanted. Not used, not like a pawn, just wanted. And then you robbed him. I woke up before him, saw his watch, his wallet, jewelry in the bathroom, and I took it, sold it, used the money to change my name, move here, get my teaching certification. I built this whole life on stolen money. Amanda doesn't judge. That's what Aria loves about her. She just listens, chews her lo mein, and thinks, do you want to marry him? Of course not. But you also don't want to go to prison. No. So you're gonna do it. Aria sets down her food, her appetite gone. I don't have a choice. There's always a choice. Amanda reaches over, squeezes her hand. It just might not be a good one. Friday comes too fast. Aria stands outside the penthouse building, craning her neck to see the top. Glass and steel stretching toward a sky that's turning pink and gold with sunset. Golden hour light that makes everything look softer than it is. She's wearing her best dress, navy blue, simple, conservative. Her hands won't stop shaking. The elevator ride up feels like ascending to judgment. Her reflection stares back at her from the mirrored walls. Brown eyes too wide, lips pressed into a thin line. She looks terrified. She is terrified. The doors open directly into the penthouse. No hallway, no buffer, just straight into Luca's world. It's exactly what she expected. Modern, expensive, cold. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Furniture that probably costs more than her annual salary. Everything in blacks and grays and whites. No color, no warmth. Luca stands by the windows, a drink in his hand, staring out at the city he owns. He doesn't turn when she enters. You came. Did I have a choice? Now he turns. He's in casual clothes, black slacks, white shirt with the sleeves rolled up. It should make him look relaxed. Instead, he looks like a predator pretending to be domesticated. There's always a choice, Aria. You could have chosen prison. She doesn't respond. Just stands there, her purse clutched in front of her like a shield. He gestures to the dining table where papers are spread out. The contract. Read it. Sign it. Or leave. She approaches slowly like the papers might bite. Thick. Legal jargon that makes her head hurt. But certain phrases jump out. 1 year minimum. Grounds for annulment include infidelity or abandonment. Mandatory public appearances. Shared custody of minor child. You want me to live here? You're going to be my wife. Where else would you live? This is insane. This is business. He moves closer and she feels it again, that pull. The same one from 3 years ago. Chemistry, attraction, things that have no place in a transaction like this. I need a wife to keep Marcel. You need to avoid prison. We both get what we want. What about what Marcel wants? Did you think about that? He just lost his mother. And now you're bringing in a stranger to play house. Something flickers in Luca's eyes. Pain, grief, is gone in an instant, but she saw it. Marcel is resilient. He'll adjust. He's 9 years old and grieving. He won't just adjust. Then I guess you'll have to be a better actress than you were in Los Angeles. The words are meant to wound. They succeed. Aria picks up the pen, her hand hovering over the signature line. This is it. The moment that changes everything. If I do this, if I sign this, I need to know you won't hurt him. Marcel, whatever you think of me, whatever I did to you, don't take it out on a child. Luca's expression softens slightly. Barely. I would never hurt Marcel. He's all I have left of Miranda. She signs. The pen scratches across paper, and it feels like signing away her soul. Luca signs next. Then he calls in his lawyer. A severe-looking woman in a pantsuit who witnesses everything and stamps it official. Congratulations, the lawyer says, though her tone suggests condolences would be more appropriate. You're legally married. Aria feels numb. Married. Again. And this time to a man who despises her. The lawyer leaves. The penthouse feels impossibly large and impossibly small all at once. I'll have your things moved here tomorrow, Luca says, already back to business. You'll sleep in the guest room. I'll introduce you to Marcel on Sunday. We'll have a small ceremony next week for appearances. When do I meet him? Marcel? Sunday dinner. 6 o'clock. Don't be late. He walks away, toward the master bedroom, then pauses. And Aria? Don't make me regret this more than I already do. The door closes. She's alone in this glass fortress, married to a stranger, about to become a mother to a child who doesn't know her. What has she done? Sunday dinner is tense from the moment she arrives. Luca is already there in the dining room, and beside him sits Marcel. The boy is small for 9, dark hair like his uncle. But where Luca's eyes are cold blue, Marcel's are brown and wary. He stares at Aria like she's an enemy infiltrator. Marcel, this is Aria. She's going to be living with us. Why? Simple question. Impossible answer. Aria sits across from him, tries to smile. It's nice to meet you, Marcel. He doesn't respond, just pushes food around his plate. The silence is suffocating. Luca clears his throat. Aria is a teacher. At Lincoln Elementary. She works with kids your age. I'm not a kid. Of course not, Aria says softly. You're almost 10. That's practically a teenager. Marcel's eyes flick to her, assessing. You don't look like Uncle Luca's type. Luca tenses. Marcel. It's okay. Aria leans forward slightly. What's his type? Tall. Blonde. Boring. Despite everything, Aria almost laughs. Well, I'm definitely not tall. Or blonde. Can't vouch for the boring part. Marcel's lips twitch. Almost a smile. Progress. The rest of dinner is stilted conversation and long silences. Marcel excuses himself early, disappearing to his room. Luca pours himself a scotch, his third of the evening. That went well, Aria says, her voice dripping sarcasm. He's grieving. I know. That's why you should be patient with him instead of treating this like a business negotiation. Luca's jaw tightens. Don't presume to tell me how to raise my nephew. I'm not presuming. I'm just saying maybe if you showed some emotion, some warmth, he wouldn't be so closed off. Like you showed emotion when you stole from me? And there it is. The real wound. The one that won't heal no matter how many papers they sign. Aria stands, her chair scraping against hardwood. I made a mistake. A huge one. And I'm paying for it. But don't act like you're some innocent victim. You're using me just as much as I used you. The difference is, I'm not pretending this is anything other than what it is. And what is it, Luca? What exactly are we doing here? He doesn't answer, just stares into his scotch like it might hold the answers. Aria walks away, toward the guest room that's now her prison cell. Behind her, she hears glass clink against marble. The sound of a man drinking away feelings he won't acknowledge. This is going to be a very long year. The days blur together. Aria moves her things in, what little she has. Amanda helps, packing boxes and making jokes to cut the tension. But even Amanda's humor can't penetrate the cold atmosphere of the penthouse. This place is like a mausoleum, Amanda whispers as they unpack. Does he ever smile? Not that I've seen. And the kid barely talks to me. I'm trying, but give it time. Grief is weird. Everyone processes differently. Aria hopes she's right. At work, she maintains the facade. Miss Jameson, the beloved third-grade teacher. No one knows she's now Mrs. Rivers, wife to a billionaire, stepmother to a boy who looks at her like she's an intruder. The secret sits heavy on her chest. That evening, she comes home, and it's strange calling the penthouse home, to find Luca and Marcel in the living room. They're playing chess. Or rather, Marcel is playing chess while Luca watches, his expression unreadable. Check, Marcel announces triumphantly. Luca studies the board, then moves his king. Not quite. Marcel frowns, recalculating. That's when he notices Aria in the doorway. Do you play? He asks, surprising her. Chess? A little. I'm not very good. Uncle Luca's really good. He beats everyone. Is that right? Aria moves closer, examining the board. Looks like you're giving him a run for his money, though. Marcel's expression softens slightly. Pride. He's proud of holding his own against his uncle. Want to play after this? Marcel asks, then immediately looks like he regrets it. I'd love to. Luca's eyes meet hers across the room. There's something there. Surprise, maybe, or suspicion. Like he's waiting for her to disappoint Marcel the way she disappointed him. She won't. Whatever happens between her and Luca, she won't hurt this child. The weeks crawl by. Aria settles into an uncomfortable routine. She teaches during the day, comes home to a cold penthouse at night. Marcel slowly warms to her, slowly being the operative word. Some days he talks to her. Some days he pretends she doesn't exist. Luca is a ghost. He works late, leaves early. When they do cross paths, the conversations are clipped, professional. He treats her like an employee. Maybe that's all she is. Then comes the night that changes everything. Aria gets a promotion at work. Head of the third-grade curriculum. It's a big deal. A huge deal. She's worked so hard. And finally, something good is happening. Amanda insists they celebrate. They go out for drinks, just the two of them. Nothing wild. A few cocktails. Some laughter. For a few hours, Aria forgets about contracts and debts and cold blue eyes. She gets home around 11, tipsy and happy and not thinking clearly. Luca is in the living room working on his laptop. He looks up when she stumbles in. You're drunk. I'm celebrating. She giggles. Actually giggles. When was the last time she giggled? I got promoted. Congratulations. He doesn't sound like he means it. You don't have to be such a... She waves her hand vaguely. Such a brooding billionaire all the time. You could try being happy for me. I'm happy for you. You're lying. You don't know how to be happy. You just know how to be angry and cold and... She moves closer, and the room tilts slightly. Why are you so cold? Aria, you should go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. I want... What does she want? She's not sure anymore. I want you to look at me like you did that night. In Los Angeles. Like I was someone worth knowing. His jaw clenches. That night was a mistake. Was it? She's close now. Close enough to smell his cologne. Close enough to see the conflict in his eyes. Because it didn't feel like a mistake. It felt like the first real thing I'd experienced in years. You were running from your husband. Ex-husband. And yeah, I was running. But when I was with you, I stopped running. For a few hours, I stopped. The air between them is charged. Electric. Dangerous. You should really go to bed, Luca says. But his voice is rough now. Strained. Make me. It's a challenge. A stupid, reckless challenge fueled by alcohol and loneliness and months of living in the same space without touching. Luca stands. He's taller than her by several inches, and she has to crane her neck to maintain eye contact. His hand comes up, cups her jaw. His thumb brushes across her cheek. You have no idea what you're asking for. Then show me. He kisses her. Or she kisses him. It's hard to tell who moves first. But suddenly his mouth is on hers. And it's angry and desperate and everything she remembers from 3 years ago. His hands are in her hair, pulling her closer. She grabs his shirt, fisting the fabric, pulling him down to her level. They stumble toward his bedroom. Clothes shed along the way. Rational thought abandoned at the door. It's angry sex. Punishment and pleasure mixed together in a way that leaves them both breathless and wanting more. He's rough. She's rougher. They're exorcising demons, settling scores, and maybe, just maybe, feeling something neither wants to name. Afterward, they lie in the dark, not touching, both staring at the ceiling. This was a mistake, Luca says finally. Yeah. Aria pulls the sheet around herself, suddenly cold. Total mistake. But as she gets up, searches for her clothes in the dark, she catches his expression in the moonlight streaming through the windows. He looks wrecked, conflicted, like maybe it wasn't a mistake at all. She returns to the guest room, closes the door, and slides down against it. Her promotion celebration has turned into something else entirely. Something complicated. Something dangerous. What has she done? Morning brings awkwardness and regret. Luca is already gone when Aria wakes, leaving only a note on the kitchen counter. Had to leave early for business. Back Wednesday. 3 days. He's running away for 3 days. Marcel notices something is off at breakfast. Where's Uncle Luca? Business trip, Aria says, pushing scrambled eggs around her plate. Did you guys fight? What? No. Why would you think that? Marcel shrugs. You both look at each other weird sometimes. Like Mom and Dad used to before they divorced. Aria's heart aches. Your uncle and I. 2 weeks pass. Good weeks. Luca and Aria develop a tentative friendship. They talk over coffee, share meals with Marcel. Sometimes their hands brush, and neither pulls away immediately. There's progress. Then Audrey Green enters their lives. She shows up at the penthouse one morning when Luca is at work. Aria answers the door, still in her pajamas, to find a woman standing there. Late 20s, professional attire, a smile that doesn't reach her eyes. Can I help you? Audrey Green. I work for Luca. I'm also a friend of the family. She extends her hand. You must be Aria. I've heard so much about you. The way she says it makes Aria's skin prickle. There's something in her tone. Something off. It's nice to meet you. Did Luca ask you to stop by? Oh no. I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd introduce myself. We'll be seeing a lot of each other after all. I work closely with Luca. She emphasizes closely, in a way that makes Aria want to slam the door. Well, it's nice to meet you, but I should really. Is that Marcel's backpack? Audrey points to the bag by the door. He left it at the office yesterday. I offered to drop it off. It's a reasonable explanation, but something feels wrong. Aria can't put her finger on it, but her instincts are screaming. Thank you. I'll make sure he gets it. You know, Miranda was a wonderful woman, Luca's sister. She and I became quite close before she passed. We bonded over our love for Luca and Marcel. There's a possessiveness in her voice that makes Aria's stomach turn. I'm sure you have a lot of work to get back to, Aria says, trying to end the conversation politely. Of course, but we should have lunch sometime. Just us girls. I can tell you all about the family dynamics. Help you navigate everything. That's kind of you. Audrey's smile sharpens. I'm here to help. After all, Luca deserves someone who truly understands him. Someone who was there through his darkest times. The implication is clear. You don't belong here. Aria closes the door, leaning against it, her heart racing. Something about Audrey sets off every alarm bell. That afternoon, she picks Marcel up from school. He's quiet in the car, which isn't unusual. But when they get home, he goes straight to his room without his typical snack. Marcel? You okay? I'm fine, he calls back. But his voice sounds strange. Aria gives him space, starts preparing dinner. An hour later, she hears a crash from his room. She runs, finding Marcel on the floor, his shelf collapsed, books everywhere. What happened? Are you hurt? I'm fine, just clumsy. But there's something in his eyes. Fear. She helps him clean up, and that's when she notices. His arm. A bruise blooming purple on his forearm. Marcel, how did you get that? I fell. At recess. He's lying. She can tell. Sweetheart, you can tell me if something happened. I said I fell. He pulls away, angry now. Why can't you just leave me alone? You're not my mom. You don't get to ask me things like that. The words sting, but Aria knows this isn't about her. Something else is going on. She texts Luca, "Need to talk when you get home. It's about Marcel." His response is immediate. Is he okay? I think so. But something happened. Be home in an hour. That hour stretches like elastic. Aria tries to get Marcel to talk, but he's shut down completely. Just sits in his room, door closed, music playing too loud. When Luca arrives, she fills him in. The bruise, the shelf, the defensiveness. Someone hurt him, Aria says. I'm sure of it. Or he fell. Luca, I work with kids. I know what a fall looks like and what abuse looks like. This wasn't a fall. His face darkens. Are you suggesting someone at school? I'm suggesting we ask him. Gently. Together. They approach Marcel's room. Luca knocks. Buddy? Can we come in? No answer. He opens the door. Marcel is on his bed, curled up, his back to them. Marcel. Luca sits on the edge of the bed. We need to talk about what happened today. Nothing happened. Your arm says otherwise. I fell. Okay? I'm clumsy. Drop it. Aria sits on the other side. Marcel, we're not mad. We just want to help. If someone hurt you. No one hurt me. He sits up, tears streaming down his face now. Why can't you just believe me? Why does everyone always think I'm lying? We don't think you're lying, Luca says softly. We're just worried. Well, don't be. I'm fine. Everything's fine. But it's not fine. And they all know it. Later, after Marcel finally cries himself to sleep, Luca and Aria sit in the living room, both exhausted. Audrey stopped by this morning, Aria says. She brought his backpack. Said he left it at your office. Luca frowns. He didn't leave his backpack. He had it at school. The pieces start clicking together. Wrong puzzle, but they're clicking. She was here, with access to his things. His schedule. You think Audrey... Luca stops. No, Audrey wouldn't hurt Marcel. She loved Miranda. She's been helping me through everything. Has she? Aria meets his eyes. Or has she been positioning herself as indispensable? Luca, the way she talked today, there was something possessive about it. Something wrong. You're reading too much into it. Am I? When was the last time Marcel had an unexplained injury? Luca doesn't answer, because he knows. This happened before. Small things, easily explained away. I'll talk to her, he finally says. Figure out what's going on. Be careful. If she's unstable. She's not unstable. She's grieving, just like the rest of us. But there's doubt in his voice now. Doubt where there wasn't before. The confrontation with Audrey happens at Luca's office. Aria insists on being there, and for once Luca doesn't argue. Audrey sits across from them, perfectly composed, her smile pleasant. You wanted to see me? Why did you come to my house yesterday? Luca asks directly. I told Aria to drop off Marcel's backpack. Marcel didn't leave his backpack. Something flickers in Audrey's expression. Then I must have been mistaken. Audrey. Luca leans forward. I need you to be honest with me. Have you been spending time with Marcel? Alone? Of course. I consider him family. Did you see him yesterday? After school? No. Why would you ask that? But Aria sees it. The slight tension in her jaw. The way her fingers curl around the armrest. He came home with a bruise. A bad one. And you were at the house that morning. With access to his things. His schedule. Audrey's mask slips slightly. Are you accusing me of something? I'm asking questions. Well, maybe you should ask your temporary wife where she was when Marcel got hurt. She's the one playing house, pretending to care about a child who isn't hers. Don't, Luca warns, his voice dropping to something dangerous. Don't deflect. I'm not deflecting. I'm pointing out that you brought a stranger into your home. A woman who stole from you. And now you're surprised when things go wrong. Aria feels the attack like physical blows, because there's truth in it. She is a stranger. She did steal. Get out, Luca says quietly. What? You're fired. Get your things and leave. If I find out you've been anywhere near Marcel, you'll what? Audrey stands, and now the mask is completely gone. What's underneath is ugly, twisted. You'll choose her over me? I've been there for you, Luca. Through Miranda's death. Through everything. And you throw me away for some thief. I said get out. Audrey looks at Aria, and the hatred in her eyes is palpable. This isn't over. You think you've won, but you haven't. You'll never be family. You'll never be what Miranda was, what I could have been. She leaves, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the frame. The silence that follows is heavy. I'm sorry, Luca says finally. I should have seen it sooner. You were grieving. She took advantage of that. She's been in love with me. For how long, I don't know. And I never saw it. He looks at Aria, and there's something like respect in his eyes. You saw it immediately. I know what obsession looks like. I lived with it. He understands. The arranged marriage. We should tell the police, Aria says. If she hurt Marcel. We don't have proof. And Marcel won't talk. Then we watch. We wait. And if she comes near him again, she won't get the chance. It's a promise and a threat. And Aria believes him. But Audrey isn't done. She's smart, patient. She waits 2 weeks, lulling them into a false sense of security. Then Marcel comes to them. It's a Saturday morning. Luca is making pancakes badly, while Aria helps Marcel with a school project at the dining table. The domesticity of it all still feels surreal. Marcel sets down his pencil, his hands shaking slightly. I need to tell you something. Luca turns off the stove. Aria reaches for Marcel's hand. What is it, buddy? That day, when I got the bruise. It was Audrey. His voice cracks. She came to school during recess. Told me she wanted to talk about Mom. But when we were alone, she grabbed my arm. Hard. Told me that Aria was going to leave us. That I shouldn't get attached. That only she really cared about our family. Aria feels rage unlike anything she's ever experienced. White hot and consuming. Why didn't you tell us? Luca asks, his voice breaking. Because I was scared. She said if I told anyone, she'd make sure Aria went away. And I didn't want Aria to leave. I like her here. Aria kneels in front of him, taking his hands gently. Marcel, listen to me. No one is taking me anywhere. I promised you I'd stay, and I keep my promises. Always. Even if Uncle Luca tells you to go? She looks up at Luca. Their eyes meet. There's a question there. An answer too. Even then, she says softly. Though I don't think he will. I won't, Luca confirms. You're family now, both of you. And family protects each other. Family. The word settles over them like a blanket. Warm, secure, real. They file an official complaint against Audrey. Marcel gives his statement. The police issue a warrant, but Audrey has vanished. She'll turn up eventually, the detective tells them. People like her always do. In the meantime, we'll keep an eye out. That night, after Marcel is finally asleep, after the adrenaline has faded, Luca finds Aria on the balcony. She's staring out at the city, wrapped in a blanket, looking small and lost. You should be inside. It's cold. I needed air. Needed to think. He joins her, standing close enough that she feels his warmth. Thank you, he says, for everything. For protecting Marcel. For staying when most people would have run. Where would I run to? I signed a contract, remember? The contract can be void if you want it to be. After everything that's happened, I wouldn't blame you for leaving. To call your debt paid. Give you a severance. Help you start over somewhere else. Her heart clenches. He's giving her an out. Clean break. Is that what you want? What I want. He pauses, struggling with words. What I want doesn't matter. This isn't about me. Then what's it about? You. Your happiness. Your safety. I brought you into this mess. The least I can do is give you a way out. She turns to face him fully. The city lights cast shadows across his face, highlighting the exhaustion, the worry, the care he's trying to hide. What if I don't want a way out? Aria, what if I want to stay? Not because of a contract or a debt, but because... She takes a breath. This is it. The moment of truth. Because somewhere along the way, this became real for me. You became real. Marcel became real. This life we're building, however it started, it's real now. You don't owe me anything. I know. That's what makes this different. I'm not staying out of obligation. I'm staying because I want to, because when I picture my future now, you're in it. Both of you. His hand comes up, cupping her face the way it did before. Gentle. Reverent. I can't promise this will be easy. I don't want easy. I want real. Then, honestly, his forehead touches hers. I'm falling for you. Maybe I've been falling since Los Angeles. Maybe that's why I was so angry. Because you made me feel something I wasn't ready for. Something I couldn't control. And now I want to stop fighting it. I want to see where this goes. If you'll have me. If you'll forgive me for everything I've put you through. If you'll forgive me for stealing from you. He laughs softly. I think we're even. Not even close. But we're getting there. He kisses her. And this time it's not angry or desperate or tentative. It's sure. It's real. It's the beginning of something neither of them planned, but both of them need. They're about to head inside when Aria's phone rings. Unknown number. She almost doesn't answer, but something makes her. Hello. Breathing on the other end. Then a voice. Male. Familiar in a way that makes her blood run cold. Hello, Whitney. No. No, 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 no. Who is this? You don't recognize your own husband's voice? I'm hurt. Ace O'Connor. Her ex-husband. The man she ran from 3 years ago. I'm not your wife anymore. Legally, you are. We never divorced, remember? You just disappeared. Which means your little marriage to Mr. Rivers. Invalid. Illegal. Which also means his custody case. Compromised. The world tilts. How did you find you? It wasn't hard once you started making headlines. The mysterious new wife of Luca Rivers. I knew that face. Knew those eyes. Even with the black hair instead of blonde. Did you really think you could hide forever? Luca is looking at her now, concern etching his features. She puts the phone on speaker. What do you want, Ace? What I've always wanted. What's mine? You. The company that was your mother's. The inheritance your stepfather is still sitting on. All of it. And if you don't come back, I'll make sure everyone knows about your little fraud. Your bigamy. Your lies. I'll destroy Rivers' custody case. Ruin his reputation. Take everything from him the way you took everything from me. I didn't take anything from you. You took yourself. That was enough. His voice turns cold. You have 48 hours. Come back to Los Angeles. Resume your place as my wife. Or I go public with everything. Your choice, Whitney. The line goes dead. Aria's legs give out. Luca catches her. Holds her as the truth crashes down. Everything they've built. Everything they're becoming. It's all built on a lie. She's still married. Which means she and Luca aren't legally married. Which means the custody case is a fraud. Which means Marcel. I have to go back, she whispers. I have to fix this. Like hell you do. Luca, if I don't, he'll destroy you. He'll destroy everything. Marcel will go to Jude. You'll lose him. Then we fight. Together. We'll get you a divorce. Prove it was a coerced marriage. There's no time. The custody hearing is in 2 weeks. If this comes out before then. So we tell the truth. We explain. Explain what? That I'm a bigamist? That I lied on legal documents? That I entered into a fraudulent marriage with you? She pulls away, her vision blurring with tears. Luca, I've ruined everything. Again. Stop. His hands grip her shoulders. Stop talking like that. You didn't destroy anything. This isn't your fault. Then whose fault is it? Mine. For forcing you into this. For not asking more questions. They stand there on the balcony. The city stretched out below them. Both of them drowning in consequences neither saw coming. What do we do? Aria asks. We find a lawyer. The best lawyer. We figure out how to expedite your divorce. Her phone rings again. She answers without thinking. It's not Ace this time. It's worse. Aria Jameson? Professional voice. Female. Cold. Yes. This is the Office of Child Services. We've received information regarding your marriage to Luca Rivers and your role as guardian to Marcel Walker. We need to schedule an emergency review. Given the allegations of fraud, we'll need to temporarily remove Marcel from your care until this is resolved. No, they can't. They can't take Marcel. Please. There's been a misunderstanding. The hearing is scheduled for tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mr. Rivers will be notified officially within the hour. Don't attempt to leave the state with the minor, or we'll be forced to issue a warrant. Do you understand? Aria can barely breathe. I understand. The call ends. She looks at Luca, and she sees her own devastation reflected in his eyes. Tomorrow morning, they're going to lose Marcel, and it's all her fault. The question isn't whether you'll lose people. It's whether you'll love them bravely anyway. If you need to know what happens next, if Aria and Luca can save their family, if their love survives this final test, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because part 2 drops soon, and trust me, you won't want to miss how this ends.